Welcome back to another episode of the OKC Foodcast. You are joined by your hosts, Nabil
and Ashley.
And we're bringing you another special guest this week. Please welcome Cher.
The Cher.
No, I wish. If I was taller and could sing, it'd be amazing.
If you could turn back time.
Right? Oh, so many things.
So Cher Golding is with Bar Wars. If you've not heard about Bar Wars, you are in for a real treat. And keep listening to the end because we do have a special announcement / giveaway.
Well, now they know. They're just going to skip to the end now.
Nope, it's going to be in the middle somewhere.
Yes, but we'll get to all of that later. First, we have to start with our favorite thing we ate this week.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you want to kick us off, Ashley?
Sure. So last weekend was the OU Texas game. And
how could you forget?
I know. I mean, I'm not a big football fan, but my boyfriend is. And he's very intense watching football. So I find if I can keep myself busy in the kitchen, I don't get like as much anxiety watching the game and hearing him yell at the TV. So I kept busy in the kitchen. I made deviled eggs, which I make these deviled eggs.
That's like one of your favorite things to make.
It is. I make them semi-regularly, definitely Easter time. But these deviled eggs have shallots in them, garlic, horseradish mustard, a little bit of mayo. And after I fill each of the eggs, then I put a crispy piece of bacon on top of each of them. Delicious.
Get those presentation points.
Yep. And then I also made traditional pigs in a blanket with a mustard dipping.
I like how you call them traditional pigs in a blanket.
I mean,
what are non-traditional pigs?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I guess
that's what I'm thinking.
Right? You could put jalapenos in them or cheese. These are just your little smokies and wrapped in like crescent roll dough. Mm-hmm. And then I also grilled some drumsticks, chicken legs, with my homemade pineapple habanero barbecue sauce.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yep. That is my jam. I love that sauce so much.
I need to try that sauce one day.
You should.
Yeah.
Whenever I make it, I make such a huge batch of it, like a big pot of it, and then I freeze several containers of it.
Well, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Then we can keep using it.
Yeah, you don't have to make a batch of sauce every time.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's a pretty long process to make that sauce.
Yeah.
Kind of like marinara. It's
a labor of love.
A labor of love, exactly. Yeah.
You got to let it simmer and let all the flavors meet and mingle and get comfortable with each other.
And then you never know how spicy a habanero is going to be. So
unless you try it.
I'm not gonna just bite into a habanero. I feel like I don't care on the spice level. I don't think I could handle it by itself at all. But I always end up making it too spicy at first, and so then I have to double the recipe, but not add more habaneros.
Yeah.
So I end up making so much sauce every time, which my family's always happy about that.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. We use that sauce on. Well, we pull it out for any kind of barbecue needs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, so that was my eat of the week.
Excellent.
What about you, Cher?
Well, after Rocky Horror on Sunday, and please, everyone go see this, that Lyric Theater has put on. It's probably one of the best casts I have seen, the best version. The costumes are amazing. I think we were the only people that dressed up. But that's okay.
Like your style.
We totally had fun. We were into it. And then we walked over to the press in the Plaza District afterwards, and I am a sucker for comfort food, and the buffalo mac and cheese at the press I could eat over and over and over again. I would weigh 4,000 pounds, but I could seriously
You would be happy, though.
yes, I lick the bowl. It's amazing. And it's just that right amount of the creamy cheese and that comfort, but then that spice and that heat off of the buffalo chicken. It's really, really good.
I've not had that from there. I've been to the press several times. It's always a great experience, but I've not had that particular dish.
You know what you're getting next time.
Yeah.
Oh, please try it. It's so good.
For sure.
I love buffalo chicken mac and cheese just in general. And so, I mean, because you're right, that spice of the buffalo just complements and cuts through that creamy richness of the cheese and stuff.
Right.
It's perfect. It's a good balance.
It's so good.
I think one of my favorite things from the press is their Indian taco.
I haven't had that yet. I want to try it.
It's
and
so
then that
good.
buffalo mac and cheese just lures me back every time.
It's like, I'm going to get the buffalo mac and cheese.
Yes. It's sad.
That sounds good, though.
Yeah.
What about you, Nabil?
I had something that I think I've talked about before. No, actually, I haven't talked about this one. I am starting to kind of favor the sandwich from Scotty's Deli.
Oh, yeah?
It's the pie.
Okay.
P-A-I-S, not pie like P-I-E.
Okay.
It's pastrami, pepper jack, their jalapeno coleslaw.
Oh, yeah. You like that.
Yeah, I love the jalapeno coleslaw. And it's usually served on the Russian roll, but I usually get it, or it's usually served on the roll. I said Russian.
Is it Russian?
It's served on a roll. I don't know why I said, because I think it's like the Russian dressing, right?
Oh, okay.
It's served on the roll, but I get it on sourdough.
Okay.
And that's very quickly becoming one of my favorite sandwiches.
Yeah.
Because the pastrami from Scotty's is just
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had that one yet or not.
I've not had that particular sandwich, no, but I've had their pastrami, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I started with the Langers 19, which is their pastrami sandwich.
That's the one I've had.
And then Scott, I was going to say Scotty, Eric and I started, we were talking, and he was like, oh, you like a little bit of spice. Why don't you try the pie? And I'm like, why didn't I see that before?
Yeah.
And so since then, I've been kind of getting that.
You're hooked on it.
Yeah.
Well, I love their sandwiches so much, but I've not had that one. I have to try it out.
There you go. You have a list of things to try.
That list is just growing and growing. I can't eat fast enough. So let's jump in to everything about Bar Wars.
Okay.
Let's do it. This event sounds like so much fun.
It's, just grown and grown and grown through the years, and we keep outgrowing our space. So
That's not a bad problem.
No, not at all. So we've got a lot of changes in store this year, and hope everybody will enjoy it.
Awesome.
I mean, when you call something a musical mixology soiree, I mean, how are people not going to go,
how
right?
beautifully put is that?
Yeah. Who came up with the name?
My husband did. He is in marketing and brand development and that. And so that was a big part of it. And the fashion show that benefited other options, the food pantry here in Oklahoma City that we did in the spring, that had a Broadway theme. And so when we put the committee together for this event, we thought, let's be consistent and carry over the Broadway theme. But, when you get musical mixology and a soiree, I mean, it just pulls it all together.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. Very eloquently put.
Yeah, for sure. And I know we'll repeat this again towards the end, but when is this event happening?
So it's coming up Thursday, October 24th, and it's from 6 to 9 p.m. at Farmers Market. That is one of the changes. It is on a Thursday night this year. We, got some feedback from the different restaurant bartenders and bartenders and bar owners and that. For them to come on a Friday or Saturday, they have to give up their tips.
Yeah.
And that's, really hard that we're already asking you to come and donate and be a part of this event and then give up your big industry night.
Yeah.
And so we moved it to Thursday to better accommodate their schedules and really offer some things. And this year we're also offering a cash prize for the bars. So there's some added incentive for them to, take that time away from their mainstay of employment and be able to give back to the community.
Yeah,
Right.
that's awesome.
I think that's really great.
Yeah. And I mean, just Oklahomans in general, like they're so giving because they're, they're always willing to donate time. They're always willing to like step up and do what's needed to be done. So, I mean, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
When did Bar Wars begin exactly?
So I believe this is our 8th year. Nathan Aguilera and David Rackley started it back in 2011. They were working on going on a humanitarian medication drop with Be the Change to go to Kenya and provide Tylenol and just much needed just kind of medications for the community in Kenya through a nonprofit that's called Be the Change. And they were actually going to compete against each other as bartenders and to try and raise money. It's kind of like your own GoFundMe type thing to sponsor them to go. And then they realized that if they did that and kind of asked all their friends and were just competing against each other, that there was something there that was much bigger. And then they kind of decided and had this meeting to come up with a whole Bar Wars to where they would compete not just against each other, but bring in their other bartender friends and really expand the mission. And they held it at IAO the first year, the IAO Gallery, and everything was completely donated. I think they had 2 sponsors, but everybody just, like you said, just came together for this cause and to send these 2 guys over to Kenya to go on this mission. And it just grew from there. And so the next year they continued to host it for a couple of years at IAO, but changed from that to selecting the organization other options and being able to provide more direct services to Oklahomans as opposed to sending the money and the charity work away. So that was something that was important. And David then became president of the board of Other Options. So once you kind of we always have this saying, if you meet Mary Arbuckle and you look her in the eye, you're hooked, and you just become all in on this cause. Right. So even for me, I was asked if I could come in on the board, and then they asked if I could step up and be president, and then next thing you know, I'm chairing Bar Wars. So I don't know. You just can't say no. I did.
They suckered you in.
There's something about it. So, but it's just a unique organization that so many of us are so passionate about, and because of the food component being, it's a food pantry for people who are living with HIV or have been affected by HIV. And so there's around 2,000 households that the organization is supporting. The food pantry set up like a grocery store. So clients get to come in, they have client choice, they get a grocery cart, and they go around and they shop and take things off the shelf. And so it's just this wonderful way that there's not a lot of waste. They're leaving with probably $200 or $300 worth of groceries each week.
That's awesome.
You don't. So many food pantries, you don't even get to shop weekly, and so you have that opportunity. And so I think with the partnerships with the Regional Food Bank and the different restaurants, there's just that strong food kind of component, and it's such a basic need. And we don't want people to have to choose between their medications and staying in care and how they're going to feed themselves or their families. And definitely, the restaurant community and the bar community rallies around that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is.
I mean, that sounds like a great cause, and I mean, I love the fact that this has grown so much that it can support it to a better extent.
Absolutely.
A bigger extent, better extent.
We just keep changing, growing venues. We moved to the first floor of the farmer's market. This is the first year that we outgrew that space. And so now we're on the second floor, which is a little bit bigger and holds more.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be up there, and we were doing the layout, and I think we've already outgrown that space. So, I mean, it's incredible.
Maybe you can just have it on both floors of the farmer's market.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah. I'll take that back to the committee. I like that.
So we were talking about food and the food culture and, everyone coming together. Who else coming together this year?
Oh, gosh. We've got 17 restaurants or bars that are competing, and they all have to have a Broadway theme. So whether it's a musical or it's a play, but something Broadway, and
how
they
many
are
guesses
going
on how many people are doing
all
Hamilton?
out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we limited it.
Okay.
So we were strategic because we didn't want to have like 8 Wickeds and 7 Hamiltons. And so they could only have one. There's only one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so if it was first come, first serve.
And they dress up too, right?
Yeah. They decorate their booth. They dress up.
Do they sing and dance?
They can.
Probably.
Okay.
They can.
Maybe they'll get my vote if they do.
Yeah.
I expect a flash mob might just bust out in the middle of this event, and I'd be okay with
That'd
it.
be so fun.
But we've got, like I said, there are 17 that are performing or are competing, and so we have 84 Hospitality is coming in as Hamilton.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They snagged it.
Their Cannonball drink that they're
Oh,
going to
nice.
be
Okay.
presenting.
Oh, yeah.
Alibis Club is doing Wicked. Apothecary 39 is going to do Cabaret. Frankie's is borrowing from the theme Steel Magnolias.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
fun
A little
one.
sweet tea vodka in there. Gaiutes is doing Pajama Game. Cat's Tavern, of course. Cat had to have cats, and
That'd
we
be-
kind of felt like we had to give her that one.
Yeah,
you know, that was
absolutely.
well, we got to do that.
That'd be crazy if they selected something else.
Right? I know. Dear Evan Hansen. Neighborhood Jam down in Norman is going to do Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
One I'm super excited to see how they pull this off is Brandon and Obar is doing Sweeney Todd. And they're bringing in the barber chair, and you're going to do slingbacks in the barber chair. And they're going to have pies with their drink.
Oh,
And
my
it's going
gosh.
to be just... I've seen some of these recipes, and these guys are killing it. I mean, they just are all across the board. Partners is going to have the entire Addams family.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
nice.
believe a 2-story house is going to be built as part
No
of their
way.
booth.
No way.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I'm not sure who's going to dress up like Cousin It. I'm kind of, looking forward to some of these things. The Pump is doing Book of Mormon. Paseo Grill is doing Chicago. They were the very first ones to sign up, jump on it, and I mean, they were like, no one's taking Chicago. So I feel like that's really personal to them, and
Yeah,
I
I
can't
guess.
wait
Yeah, I
to
wanna see what they do with that.
what they're going to do. Rococo Tosh over there is going to do Beetlejuice, and if she just
Yes.
doesn't look that part, I mean, it's
Right.
incredible. The Bunker's doing South Pacific. The Other Room and Picasso's are teaming up to do Moulin Rouge.
Oh, that's a fun
cool.
one.
The Winston down in Norman is doing The Lion King. And Tramps is going to have a 25-foot guitar for their School of Rock theme.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
It's going to be incredible.
I was wondering if someone was going to get on Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no one's doing Aladdin. How sad.
No, I know. But we're encouraging folks to dress up. So come,
So you come as
you
Aladdin.
can come and dress
Yes.
up. I mean, it's a $50 ticket. It's a casual
I'll have Abu
event.
with
So
me.
by all means, come be a part of our theme.
Serena could be Jasmine. I think that would be perfect.
I think you've laid out their costumes for us, and we can use it for Halloween. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and Scratch. I think I missed them. Scratch and Paseo. They are doing Grease. That was the last one.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
that's a fun one too. Gosh,
Nice.
I am so excited about this.
There's
Yeah, this
so
sounds like
many
a lot of fun.
options. It's
So-
gonna be so fun.
So, is everyone required to do a drink option and a food option, or is it a choice?
It's a choice.
Okay.
So there's probably about half are adding a food component, and not everyone has, like Tramps doesn't really have a kitchen, so
Right.
they're just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bar. So we didn't make it a requirement for that. But we also have like Billy Sims Barbecue is donating barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
The great folks at Cabot Cheese are delivering several pounds of cheese and just these selections that you can't normally find in the grocery
Oh, that's
store
cool.
from their brands. So some really
Yes.
off brands and different things that we get to try, which is really
I'm
exciting.
a big cheese lover.
So, with barbecue, we've got really hearty food.
Mm-hmm.
Rome Coffee is also going to be doing coffee there. The Angry
Awesome.
Scotsman is going to do, Benny's going to bring some tastings from the Angry Scotsman of their different beers. There'll probably be like an Oktoberfest and some of
Yeah.
those other things.
Oktoberfest, really?
Yeah, right?
So bizarre.
I know. What time of year is it? And then the folks at Diageo Americas, which they rep Bullet, Don Julio, and Crown Royal, they're bringing some samples as well for that.
Sweet.
And then with all of the competitors, they majority of them are using our sponsor, which is Prairie Wolf Spirits. So Prairie Wolf has a rum, a gin, and a vodka, and so those are what Prairie Wolf is providing as part of all of the cocktails that everybody has. So you'll see a lot of great options. Everything I read is from the recipes. I had to turn in the recipes so that I could work with Prairie Wolf on how much of each, I think that we're doing. And so with these tastings, they're just going to be so good. And just people are really thinking outside of the box on some unique
love
things.
that.
Do you do like a little pre-tasting?
That should be a requirement. You say, I have to taste everything first.
We have a judge. We do have a judging section. So we have at 5:30, the judges are going to roll through ahead of time and do a sampling and taste everything. So, if you want to put in a good word and ask to be a judge, I might be able to work that out for you. Yeah.
Well, here's good.
Right?
Yeah, that would be so awesome.
I think that would be fun. I mean, to have you guys come and help and judge and taste everything. Let's do it. Let's get you on.
Let's do it.
Done.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a score
I'm so
sheet.
excited.
We're doing 3 different categories. So there'll be the judges' overall winner, kind of that best in show for the best decorations, because they are going above and beyond in providing all of their own costumes and their own set decorations and all of that. And then people's choice. So everybody gets to vote as well. So you get one vote for the whole night. And so you get your Guys and Dolls dice that you're going to get when you come in and get to go around and vote on your one favorite.
Oh, that's
Nice.
so fun.
That's fun.
This is like an event that I've never been to, but the whole theme part of it and dressing up and oh my gosh, this is so
It seems
up my
like
alley.
it's like very well tied together, and it's just going to be a really good experience for whoever goes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We've got entertainment this year. So we are going to do kind of this whole thing's in the round. So, you can start at number, 16, 17 and work all the way around or start at number 1. But we have a stage in the center, and Renee Anderson is a local performer and actress here in Oklahoma City. She's probably most known for being Peter Pan in Lyric Theater's production, and she is an incredible singer. And so she's going to be performing, but she's also our MC for the night. The girls from Coyote Ugly Bar are going to be dancing as well and doing some numbers.
Wow.
The Victory Roller Derby girls are going to be serving past hors d'oeuvres around.
Nice.
And then we just kind of have DJ Ostara. She's DJing throughout the night. So she's kind of doing some mashups and some mix-ups of Broadway plus, current tunes and just kind of putting all of that together. So we're really excited. There's just going to be something happening. Kind of every half hour is going to be some entertainment and things that are going on.
Cool.
So we're just kind of trying to keep it going because it's just so much fun, but we just want to make sure that, there's other aspects and tying that whole Broadway theme and fun together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How many people do you expect to attend?
We're hoping to have around 250. Just kind of around, I think last year we had around 200, and this year we're hoping to have about 250.
Are there tickets still available?
There are. It's $50 in advance for the general admission ticket, or $75 at the door. So we'll still be selling at the door.
So get your tickets early.
Yes. We do have a designated driver package with the unlimited soda and water. Plus, you get a free T-shirt and you get some extra perks and that along the way with some
awesome
swag
is
and that
that?
as a designated driver.
Yeah.
And that's only a $25
You guys have thought
ticket.
of everything.
And then, we always have this thing
isn't
as
their
a
first
committee.
rodeo.
Yes. When you come together as a committee and you take feedback from all your friends, when you try to put together a VIP ticket price and kind of what that is and what are gay people getting, our friends are always like, why are we punished? Why do we have to come early? And then we sit in our crowd little section and we don't get to mingle with our friends. So we decided, all right, VIP is going to be different this year. It's a concierge service. So when you come in, you'll get a welcome drink and you'll be assigned one of the committee members, and we're going to wait in line for you.
Oh, wow.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
That's true VIP.
That is. Wow.
So you don't have to wait in line. Those tickets are $150. And if you come in and you've already bought your $50 or your $75 ticket at the door and you want to bump up when you're seeing how cool it is that the VIP folks are getting, not having to wait in line and get their drinks brought to them, you can bump up and make another
Nice.
donation to other options.
There you go. And it's for a good cause.
Absolutely. It
So-
all
Other
goes to a good
options.
cause.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so where can people get the tickets at?
So they're online. You can either go to otheroptionsokc.org in our events page or Eventbrite. And if you go to eventbrite.net, then the keyword is Bar Wars OKC.
Okay.
Very cool. And Cher was gracious enough to offer up some tickets that we're going to be posting about for you to follow the directions and comment below.
That's right. So when this episode comes out, which is now because you're listening to it, head on over to our Instagram page and follow us if you don't already do that, OKC Foodcast, and make sure you follow Bar Wars as well at Bar Wars OKC _.
That's on Instagram.
And that's on Instagram.
Yeah.
And obviously comment who you're going to take with you if you win these tickets.
Yeah. Tag all your friends.
Yeah.
And we will be announcing the winner on Tuesday, October 22nd. So be on the lookout for that.
And keep commenting.
Yeah. So before we move on to our favorite segment, the kitchen sink.
Our favorite segment. Remember the curveballs I talked about?
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready. Let's do it.
But before we get to that, I also wanted to talk about another event you do, I guess, annually with Other Options.
Absolutely. So Cookie Arbuckle was the founder of Other Options, and every Thanksgiving we provide a home-cooked meal for each one of our clients, and it has now been named Cookies Thanksgiving. And this is all hands on deck, all volunteer driven. So we come together the week before Thanksgiving, and as a community, a lot of the chefs in town, just everybody can come together, and we'll do a volunteer sign up, and we can share that with you to share with your listeners.
Yeah.
In that we come together and we're smoking the meats, we're carving up the hams, we're cooking the green beans, the mashed potatoes, the stuffing. Each household gets a pound of turkey, a pound of ham, the rolls, the fixings, everything that makes a home cooked meal for Thanksgiving. And everybody gets a pie. But
Deviled eggs by any chance?
Not the pastrami sandwich.
I don't think we've had deviled eggs in the past, but if you want to come and prepare 1,000 deviled eggs for 1,000, please, by all means, come by.
Deviled eggs for 1,000, coming right up.
You know, they say you have to do something 1,000 times before you become an expert.
Right, there it is. But we come together, our folks at Sunnyside Diner open up the diner every evening to us to come in and take over their kitchen and just have this assembly line team of volunteers. We've got everybody in the back that are washing dishes. It's just incredible. And then we prepare and package it all up. And then Thanksgiving morning, a whole team of volunteers come and you get your assignment of who you're delivering the meals to. So it's completely community driven.
Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
Some of these folks have done this. Some of our volunteers have done it year after year and get to know our clients that are fortunate enough to still be living and be healthy, living with HIV, but just need that extra help. And this is sometimes for them, it's their only family and kind of their only opportunity to see people around the holidays. And so our volunteers might even come in and sit down and actually break open the meal with them.
Oh,
it's
that's
just
so nice.
wonderful. It's how I first started volunteering with Other Options, was through this event. And it's just absolutely incredible to see how it all comes together, and just knowing that you're just providing, food is love, and you're providing that for a family on Thanksgiving. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that is. I don't know if you mentioned this, the date for that?
So it'll start the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which this year is the last week in November, I believe. And so we'll have a sign up, Jeannie, that we'll send out, and it'll be all over our social media. There's a Facebook page, which is Cookies Thanksgiving as well. So we'll be posting on there. So usually about November 1st, we'll start to do a call for volunteers. And it's great because you can bring, like your whole office can come. You can bring a team of folks because of the nature that we're cooking, and that it's you're using knives and boiling water and those type of things. We just ask that people are 13 and up, just so that we don't have little kids that are wielding a knife. Which I'm going to say, with some of my chef friends, my gosh, their kids can, julienne, vegetables. So, but
have you, like MasterChef Junior, I'm like, how are you making this?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So, and that'll be the Sunnyside Diner over at Northwest 6th and Classen.
Awesome. So yeah, what website did you say they could go to get
our
involved?
To other options, okc.org.
Okay.
And then also there's a Facebook page, which is Cookies Thanksgiving. You can just search for Cookies Thanksgiving and it'll pop up.
Perfect.
So if you're interested in that, head on over there, get that information, and keep an eye out beginning of November for the signups.
Yeah.
And do what you can to give back.
Yeah, I think this is such an incredible thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to do it. Let's
All right, I'm down.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
My first year was on the peeling potatoes station. And you're trying to really feed so many people, and you're doing the mashed potatoes, and so they're ginormous potatoes, and you're like peeling them, and no one told me that we still leave a little bit of the skin on for the the crunchiness and that you kind of have in some of that kind of that
so
kind
you're
of
like
a dirtier.
cleaning them completely.
Yeah, so I'm here just cleaning them completely. I have blisters.
Man.
I've dulled the blade on my peeler, and then you have to chop them up, and so they're so big, and so you have this huge knife that you're like sawing into the potato because your potato slice is like 8 inches around in diameter, and so but it's incredible. And then the next year, somebody thought it was really funny to give me the idea of, well, she could open up all the stock and pour it in so that we're boiling the stock on the stove. Well, in a commercial grade kitchen, I'm 5 feet tall, so the stock pot, is probably, one of those giant cauldrons. Right. And so it's, a good 2 feet deep anyway, and it's on a tall stovetop. And so I'm on a ladder, like pouring stock
That's
in.
funny.
It's like, okay. I've also done that you're opening all the cans, and it's those big giant, cans of green beans, the big family size, the Sam's Club size, and you have a pound of green beans that you're using a home can opener to try and do. So you build up some muscle on this.
Right.
And some skills.
So fun.
So not only a good cause, but get a workout.
You totally get a workout.
That's right. So as a volunteer, do you get to pick what you're doing in the assembly line, or once you get there?
No, you can sign up.
Okay.
So each station has so many, because we do have volunteers that come back year after year. But so each station has a sign up for the number of slots that it has that you can, capable of doing in that space.
Excellent.
So, and it changes every night.
Awesome. That is so amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling us about that and sharing with us. I think we should definitely get involved.
Oh, please. You'll love it.
So, are we ready for the kitchen sink?
Are you ready, Cher?
I don't know. This one sounds like a tough one.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. So, you're a foodie, but do you enjoy cooking?
So
I mean, you enjoy peeling potatoes.
We know you're an expert at that.
So I eat out so much, and I have friends that are like, do you even use your kitchen? Like, is it set up like a library? What is it? And then what I do, like around the holidays, I love to bake. And so when I do post stuff, people are like, you have a kitchen? Like, what? You can follow a recipe? This is crazy. But it's funny. Just, my husband and I work odd hours. We volunteer a lot. So, I'm not going to cook, spaghetti and meatballs and pasta at 10 p.m. Some people might. I just don't. So we eat out more than probably we should. So yeah, I do like to bake, but I'm trying, my nemesis right now that I'm getting better at is biscuits and gravy. I am not Southern. So I am an Italian girl from Southern California. My traditional Christmas meals were that traditional Southern Italian with the sausage and the meatballs and the marinara that was on the stove forever, but we didn't make our own pasta. So I know we took the shortcut at grandma's house of just boiling water, but the garlic bread and all of that. Right. So, I marry a guy from Oklahoma, and he's, strictly this meat and potatoes thing. Right. And so I've been trying to perfect the biscuits and gravy, and my gravy's getting better, he says.
Nice.
So that's good.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah, I'm getting there. So.
Biscuits and gravy. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like biscuits and gravy.
I don't think I've ever attempted biscuits and gravy.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Southern girl, so I feel like this is like one of the first things I learned how to cook. His first thing was beans. And probably biscuits and gravy next.
Sausage gravy and getting just that consistency and just the right peppery and that. Yes, I'm getting there. It's getting better.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
So you mentioned you eat out a lot.
We do.
Do you like trying different foods?
I have not been that adventurous in the past, but I will say there is one chef in town who literally can put anything down in front of me, and as long as he tells me what I'm supposed to experience,
it isn't?
well, no, just like taking you through the flavor profiles
yeah?
of this is what you're going to experience and that type of thing. Then I'm usually pretty good with
just like
trying
a warning.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, sometimes you hear something and it sounds weird, or you look at it and you're like, I don't really know what that is.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah. So, I mean, because I'm a pretty visual person, so I kind of eat with my eyes and, and that. So you're kind of looking and going, well, that's
That
interesting.
looks a little weird.
Or you just hear something that you're like, I don't know, do we eat that? So I'm trying to get a little better, but I've had a few adventurous things for me. I don't know if they're adventurous for others. But a beef tongue is one that I have tried.
That's it.
So I was going to ask you what the
Right.
strangest thing you tried was. Yeah.
The bone marrow. I
Okay.
once you tell and I said this. I was like, what is this? How do I eat this? What do I do? Don't make me look like a fool, Jonathan. Tell me how I eat all of this. But just that beautiful buttery
which chef?
consistency.
Jonathan
Stranger.
Stranger?
Yeah.
That was going to be my follow-up.
That just
As soon
buttery
as she
consistency.
said
Yeah.
Jonathan, I'm like, and I've had his bone marrow when he was at Ludovine. Delicious.
So good.
Yeah.
But you kind of look at it and you're like, I don't know how to eat it properly. So I want to make sure that I'm doing this okay.
Right.
And then what is this supposed to taste like so that I know? And, he's like, oh, sure. It's just like buttering your toast. And you get to that point and you're like, why have I not been eating this all along?
Why am I eating butter?
Why am I not using bone marrow on my toast every day?
Exactly.
It is delicious.
And then ostrich is the other one that I've tried on the
nice.
game meats and
Okay.
that.
I haven't tried that yet.
And that's a tough one. It's one that, boy, if you cook it just a little too much, it gets really rubbery.
Right.
So to have a good consistency on that was good.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, you're an adventurous
Yeah,
eater.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also hate onions, or something like that.
You know what? You're not alone. There are others that I guess.
There are other onion haters out there as well.
Yeah. What guest was that? It was
I can't-
Roxy's.
Oh, was it?
Roxy's Ice Cream
Ice cream?
Social.
I think so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. One of the things that they hated was
Was it
onions.
Shane?
Yeah.
No, it was Rena.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Favorite snack food?
I'm either going to grab, and it really depends on the time of day. I'm either going to grab for the salty or I'm going to go for the sweet. And weirdly enough, during the day, there's like this, I don't know, I'm that perfect candidate for a 3:00 ice cream commercial.
Yes.
If I'm watching TV and if at 3:00 that banana split commercial came on, I'd be like, we got to go.
We gotta get Brahms.
I don't know what it is.
That sounds perfect.
And I think my parents used to bribe me to go to do like shopping things, like we'll go
ice
to Home
cream.
Depot, but we'll get ice cream afterwards. And that's how they raised, fat kid with a sweet tooth. Like, thanks, Mom and Dad.
That's so funny.
So yeah, so I weirdly enough, like around 3:00, I'm like ice cream. So that, and then just like popcorn. I really do like popcorn. It can just,
love it.
and I have places that I'm like, oh, this has the good popcorn, or like which movie theaters you like, or that. Oddly enough, the Oklahoma City Zoo in that giant bag
it's
of
amazing.
popcorn that lasts you a week or a month
Or 2 days.
or 2 days, the car ride home. Is so good.
It is.
I have to get another bag before I leave. No.
Right. No, I'm a big popcorn fan. And did you know I've shared this secret on the podcast before?
Okay.
I got an air popper to make my popcorn at home. And at the movie theater, you know how movie theater popcorn, like you can't get that flavor
Right.
from just popping a bag of popcorn. But you can ask them for a little container of what they season their popcorn with and bring it home and make your own.
Popcorn game just stepped up.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
I'm not kidding. It is
Wow, okay.
good. Really good.
Nice.
All right. So while you're eating your popcorn,
Yes.
what's your favorite food show or movie?
I love the movie Burnt with Bradley Cooper. To see him go through kind of that Michelin star trials and tribulations and just what it takes to be that top level chef. And I do like watching like Top Chef and those type of things and kind of really trying to follow these amazing just that high level quality. I don't have the patience for that stuff. I mean, when you watch, I mean, clearly I can't make biscuits and gravy, so I'm still stirring the biscuits and the gravy. I mean, currently the couscous isn't that done yet. Man, making a roux for me. And how, just some of those chefs, I have to say, like, when you go someplace and you get scallops, I think there's a million ways that you can ruin a scallop.
Yeah.
But when they are cooked just perfectly, that person put all that love and all that care into it. So watching shows like that that high caliber, I love to do.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Burnt yet. I just took a note of that. I'm like,
you need to watch it.
that.
I haven't either.
Oh. Well, and Bradley Cooper's such a method actor anyway. So, I mean,
I bet he became a really good chef, right?
Yeah. You can go eat at his restaurant or something. I mean, it is. And they, kind of just because of that competition and how much those stars and those rankings and everything that you have after your name mean. And I guess in a previous life, he was kind of an asshole to one of the guys. So there's some sabotaging that goes on and that. But just to see that how they even keep that kitchen and how many people touch your food. That's always that saying of, somebody has to, if it wasn't touched by, 20 hands, then, it's just not that great. So just see that and see how impeccably clean the kitchen is every night in that movie. And it just kind of really goes through just every day when they start and how the prep works and handling a line and just this incredible, it's really good. I highly recommend
that.
Yeah,
it's really, really good.
Before this episode, we were talking about Alinea in Chicago.
My God.
It's, my gosh, his name's escaping me. Chef Grant.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And he was saying they employ 70 people that work at Alinea, which seems like a really high number.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, at that high caliber restaurant, there's like so many people touching your food, doing just specific things to your food.
Right.
Which is, it's
all
insane.
The tiny details.
Yeah. I have a friend that lives in New York and works at a restaurant that's called Burger and Lobster.
Okay.
And that
sounds
on the menu.
great.
It's burgers and lobster, and then you can get a burger with lobster.
Yum.
And just the pictures that he posts. From just like, hey guys, I got this new job, and was posting these pictures on social media. I started following the restaurant, and I have my daily drool of this picture of whatever they've put out as their special every day is just something.
Awesome.
So I'm like, I cannot wait to go to New York City and go try Burger and Lobster.
Right.
All right, that's on my list too.
Yeah, well, that kind of leads us into the next question. What country or region that either you've been to or would like to go to that you're most drawn to their food scene or culture?
I think for me, just growing up Italian in an Italian household, I am a sucker for a charcuterie.
Oh, yeah.
Meat and cheese board. I think, when people ask, like, what's that thing if you were on a deserted island and that one thing, or you could only eat one thing every day? Yeah, give me a meat and cheese board and I'd be set. That there's just something about those cured meats and pairing it with cheeses and some of the different, mustards or the jams and the fig and the honey and the olives and that's really
I can get
my
down
thing.
with a good charcuterie board. Always.
I just looked up Burger and Lobster, and I
you
made a
drooling over the
mistake.
picture? You made a mistake.
Well, let's go.
Now
Start
I
a
have to.
GoFundMe for our foodie tour.
Yes. We'll just say we'll document these.
Right?
And I'm surely someone will want to fund us.
We'll figure out which airline has the best snacks. I mean,
Yes,
we can make this a
do
thing.
this.
Yeah.
We can
Or
do
a
this.
car trip of,
Ooh.
all the different places that we stop along
That's
the
a
way.
fantastic idea.
Okay, see, you got to take
Done.
me with you now.
Let's do it. All right. We're going to do like a best food road trip version.
Oh my gosh. How amazing would that be?
Yeah, that'd be cool. You pick a restaurant, pick a location, and
Pick a month.
you'd go.
I love it. Oh my gosh. I'll start out in one size
that'd be a
pair
fun
of pants,
show.
end up in
And
another
come
size
back
of pair of
in
pants.
2 sizes larger.
That'd be a fun
That's so
show.
much happier.
Right? Oh, yeah, completely. I'd be like, oh, I'm a happy weight.
Hey, Netflix, come on.
Yeah.
You want to produce more food shows. Come on.
Yes.
This is a good documentary or,
Yeah.
a reality show for us.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm good TV, too. So it's,
we can find some
some
drama.
hijinks that happen along the way.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
funny.
awesome. All right, so this might be the toughest question you answer tonight.
Okay.
You're so serious.
Your favorite restaurant in Oklahoma?
See, and that's always so hard because you know, especially for me, I try very hard not to eat at a chain.
Yeah.
I like to get to know either the owner, the chef, people that work there, all our local food. We have such incredible food here in Oklahoma City, but I gotta go back to Miss Chef Jonathan Stranger.
Yeah.
There is really nothing that I've ever just had a bad time at any of his restaurants, and he is just continuing to up his game. But I have to say that the Osteria is just unbelievable,
It is.
and that cacio pepe. I've had the lunch version, which is a rigatoni pasta that they make in house, and I'm done before the rest of the people at my table. And I'm like trying to lick the bowl. And the lady, she's trying to take it away, and I'm like, no,
it's
still
so
like
good.
4 pieces of garlic in there.
Yeah.
Gosh, and then the dinner version is with the spaghetti, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
You know, funny story about Osteria. That is when Bill and we went there for dinner with his wife, and that is where we talked about starting this podcast.
That's the birthplace of the podcast.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we hadn't. It was the first time for us to talk about it, and we were like, "All right, let's do it."
I haven't had a chance to try bar cicchetti yet. I'm looking forward to that. I've heard good things about that as well. And with Fabio, Chef Fabio Viviani, and following him on Top Chef and his journey.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just fun.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
I had the opportunity to meet him for something when I worked at the Oklahoma AIDS Care Fund and Red Tie Night. They did he was in town for helping to open up the restaurant and give some opportunities and a trip out to Chicago as one of the auction items for us, and got to meet him, and it was just incredible.
Nice.
Very, very cool.
Nice. Yeah, I actually made it out to Bar Cicchetti, and unfortunately didn't have like a full meal there, but tried a bunch of their little small plates, which were all really good.
I really want to go.
And I got a chance to meet him because he was walking around, and he was like, "Hey, how's the food?" And I'm just like, kind of starstruck right now, but it's pretty good.
He's kind of larger than life, but yeah.
And he was like so down to earth and so cool, and just having fun with everyone, and just making sure everyone was having a good time. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things I kind of noticed, when Deep Fork Grill was open, Jonathan was one of the chefs there, and then started Table One, and then Ludivine. And it was just kind of those things. And he was always partnered with other chefs. But when you kind of get to know like who's cooking what and what their flavor styles are and that. And it was like, oh, I've always just kind of gravitated to what he cooks. And so, I'm going to, see if I can get adopted and move something.
Right. If he wants to try something, go ahead.
Such good food. But we have, just other incredible chefs around here, and it's so hard to pick just one restaurant.
I told you it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, we really do. We go out with friends all the time and, just go but local is the key.
Absolutely.
And like you said, from sandwich shops to, really high-end restaurants. We've got everything in between. We have great sushi in Oklahoma.
We do.
I tell my friends that all the time that are from out of state.
And they're probably
like,
laugh.
"What? You're a landlocked state." I'm like, we have great seafood and great sushi here.
It is true.
We really do.
For sure. Well, awesome. Well, again, friends, don't forget to enter into the contest to win some tickets to Bar Wars.
Yeah.
Again, that's happening Thursday, October 24th, and we're going to announce the winners on the 22nd.
Right. So if you enter this, keep your night open.
Yes. This is going to be an event you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
I am so excited, and we're going to judge the hell out of it.
Yes, we'll have like a little notepad and be like,
Oh, there's a score sheet. I mean, it is. It's hardcore, and I got to make sure that, none of the bars get to anybody ahead of time and bribe them or anything. It's cutthroat. And
well,
Tramps,
you know where to reach us. No,
I know. Yeah. And I think Tramps has won the last 2 years.
Oh, really?
So everybody's really coming for them and upping their game, but they're upping their game as well.
Right.
So So I love the camaraderie with these group of people that they all they take it so serious, but for such a good cause.
Right.
So you are going to experience some of the best drinks in town because they are bringing their A game for bragging rights and for good cause.
That's
I'm
amazing.
also like kind of excited to try what Rome does.
Yeah.
Because they always go all out. Like
do.
at Hangover Brunch, they were doing like the smoked cold brew, and it was pretty incredible.
Yeah. There's gonna be lots of good options to try, and even if you're not, a traditional cocktail, we've got wine, we've got beer, so just come out, hang out with your friends, and have a fun time on a Thursday.
It'd be a great
in October.
Thursday night.
And
Exactly.
for a great cause. Yeah,
Yes.
and dress up.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much going on
Yes,
that night. Everyone
there
will
is.
have fun.
Yeah.
Just get out there.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at OKC Foodcasts, and also follow Bar Wars OKC on Instagram and
Facebook.
Yep.
And thank you so much, Cher, for being on the podcast today. We really, really
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yeah, especially with like a week out.
Right.
It's going to be.
I know y'all are
I'm sure you're
crunch
really
time.
busy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, but I appreciate you guys giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. We look forward to seeing you on the 24th. And if you'd like to send in some listener feedback, or if you'd like to collaborate, we'd love to hear from you. And you can email us at okcfoodcast@gmail.com.
Or if you want to bribe us before Bar Wars.
We do take bribes.
but we'll accept them after.
Yeah, right.
Let's be honest judges.
Yes, we will be.
All right, and you guys just let me know when we're going on our cross-country
Yes.
food
Yes.
extravaganza.
Yes.
I'm in.
Absolutely.
It has to happen. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button so you know when new episodes come out, and share this podcast with a fellow food lover, because there's tons of them around, not that. And if you haven't done so yet, leave us a rating and write us a review, because those reviews and ratings help us get out in front of more people.
Yeah. And until next time, friends, eat well and be happy. Bye.